Happy Memorial Day. Hope everyone has had a nice holiday weekend and a relaxing Memorial Day. We have got just one single break tonight, and that is the back half of a case of Select Baseball. We do, however, have a massive amount of unpaid teams because, well, that's been the trend lately. So as it stands right now, I believe that we have as many as 6 unpaid teams in this break. And of course, we are going to go over a little bit of information before we actually get started breaking. And if some of those payments come in between now and then, that would be fantastic. And if not, then we are going to have to find homes for possibly as many as 6 teams. So nothing like getting the week started off right with a whole bunch of people who bid and don't pay. Isn't that fun? But first things first, some information to go over. And it looks like this. My feedback is completely automated on eBay. Anytime that you leave positive feedback for me, you are instantly going to get positive feedback in return. That's automation for you. I love it, right? And you don't have to wait. It's a win-win. And of course, the other thing there is to say thank you. Always appreciate you being here, bidding and breaking and hanging out with me, doing a little chatting and that kind of thing. This is what it looks like in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, we're going to be breaking Select Baseball again, another half case break. That one will be the start of a new case. On Wednesday, this break is not listed on eBay. It is a rescheduled break for 2020 Bowman Baseball. That would have been Friday's break, except not all the products showed up. So it is rescheduled for Wednesday night. We'll start a little bit earlier than normal, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Thursday night, we're going to open Noir Basketball. That is actually a Wednesday release, but I am not confident I would have it all on Wednesday since, holiday today. So we're going to do it on Thursday night instead. That will be loose boxes from a shared case and a 4-box case quantity break. On Friday night, we'll break Select Baseball yet again, and I say break number 3 there, but that's not correct. It will really be break number 4, and I don't know why I typed 3 twice, but somehow I did. But it will actually be break number 4 of that, and we will start a hair later than normal, 9:15 Eastern, 6:15 Pacific. Both Saturday and Sunday will be off nights. Then here's what you need to know about what we're working on tonight. So Select Baseball is a half case break. It's the back half of a case, expecting it to go out the door on or about Friday. As always, it is plus or minus a day, so it could go a day earlier if the week goes ahead of schedule. It could go a day later if the week gets behind schedule. As it stands right now, I'm expecting it to be out the door and on the way approximately Friday. Now, normally we could just look at the spreadsheet and get on with the break, but yeah, lots of unpaid stuff tonight. Let me see if any of it got paid while we were going over our information or not. And looks like some of it, no, one of them did, and the rest of them still sitting there unpaid. So we've got a nice long list of teams to find homes for, thanks to the people who didn't pay. So it looks like this. I need to find a home for the Oakland A's, the Phillies, the Cubs, the Angels, and the Blue Jays. Yeah, they like to take those expensive teams and not pay for them. Of course they do. Anyway, this is what we're looking for. I need to find someone to buy. A's, Phillies, Cubs, Angels, Blue Jays. Priority is going to go to the person who wants all of the teams. If nobody wants all of them, then whoever wanted the most of them. And then if we have to, we'll get down into individual teams and that kind of stuff. So who might have some interest in this boatload of unpaid stuff? So once again, it is the Oakland A's, the Philadelphia Phillies, Chicago Cubs, the Angels, and the Blue Jays. All need to find a home. All unpaid teams, thanks to wonderful people who bid and did not pay. So, anybody? What's the word here? That's way too many for me to just let ride. When it's 1 or 2 or, $100 or so, I'm willing to risk it. When it gets up into being 3 and 4 and 500 and 5 and 6 teams, yeah, that gets a little much. I'm also going to type them into chat in case someone has the volume down. Angels, and who else did I say? Blue Jays. All right, so let me try to get this. All right, so let's talk about this a minute. So you guys are asking on the pricing of it. So I'm going to tell you what they sold for on eBay. And then again, if somebody's interested in multiple teams, I'm going to give you first preference and you're going to get a little bit better deal. If somebody's only interested in single teams, you know, we'll part them out one at a time. But preference is somebody to take all or most at once, and then we'll go from there. So however we need to do it to get them a home. So the Oakland A's, they sold on eBay for $42. The Phillies sold on eBay for $31. The Cubs sold for $64.99. The Angels sold for $76. And the Blue Jays sold for $167.50. So I'm looking to get something close to that. It doesn't have to be exactly that, obviously, but I'm looking to get something close to what they sold for. And, of course, right now, the main thing is we just have to find homes for all of them. I'll also refresh here real quickly and see if anybody else managed to get their bills paid. And, of course, they didn't. I kind of didn't think they would, but, yeah. All right, so Vulcan, Nina, you were interested in the A's and the Angels. Are you still interested in the A's and the Angels now that you know what the approximate cost would be? And again, if somebody wants to buy multiple teams, we can talk a little bit about pricing on it. And I see there also CrossX, you also had asked about the Blue Jays and the Angels. Nina, you're asking about the A's and the Angels for $120. Hang on one second. Let me see here. I am terrible with math in my head. Yeah, I mean, we can do the A's and the Angels for $120 if you want to do that, Nina. So do you want those two teams, the A's and the Angels? If you're in at $120 for that, I will mark your name by those and we'll keep moving down the list. Vulcan, you're asking about the Cubs and the Phillies. They had sold for $64.99 and $31 is what they sold for on eBay. So again, looking to get something close to their selling price if we can. And the Blue Jays, of course, the big team that I need to find a home for. All right, so Nina's going to take the A's and the Angels, she says. So let me get a little work done on that real quickly. Hang on one second. I've got a couple of things I'm going to have to do from my side here. And I'm going to type in here, yeah, Nina, if you want to PayPal that over, that would be great. I'm getting ready to type in right now the email address that I use for this, and that's what I use for PayPal. So if you want to send that over, that would be great. Meanwhile, I've got to do a little work on eBay to close up those two teams on here. Again, that's the A's and the Angels that we're talking about, for $120 going to Nina. So let me get them closed out on eBay. All right, so the A's. They are canceled. Now let me get in and do the Angels. And what about everybody else on here? So, Kyle, I saw you had asked about the A's, but Nina, of course, had asked first, and also she was talking about two teams. So again, anybody who's buying multiple teams at this point, just because we have so many to move, I'm always going to try to go that route, and they're going to get preference just because of we're, you know, got a lot of teams to move and trying to get that done. All right, so Vulcan, how are you feeling there about the Cubs and the Phillies? Do you want one, both, neither? What's your situation there? How are you feeling about everything? Well, Select is the only break we have tonight. So, yeah, so Alex, we just have the one break tonight, so that is the break that's going to go as soon as we can manage to get all these teams sold. So that's what we're working on right now, obviously trying to get that part done. So once we get that accomplished, we will be able to do the break, of course. And I'm still trying to get something fixed here on eBay, so bear with me for just a second, please. I'm trying to get this other, and I don't know why it's acting stupid, but I'll get it fixed here in a minute. So Cross, you're saying the Blue Jays and the Cubs. You want to do the, if you're talking about the Blue Jays and the Cubs for 150? No, man, that's I can't do that. I mean, that's way low. Because they sold for 230 something, like 200 and close to $233. So I mean, that 150 is way low on that. No, Alex, it's not a full case. This, again, is a half case break. We broke the first half of this case when it came out on Friday night. So this is the back half of the case that we started on Friday night is what we are breaking tonight. But we have all these unpaid teams, and I'm trying to get them sold here so that we can actually get the break done. Maybe we'll be able to get that accomplished here shortly. All right, Nina, thank you. Appreciate that. So, Cross, if you wanted to do, you said the Blue Jays and the Cubs, you offered 150. They had sold for 230 on eBay. Obviously, we know what the situation is. If you wanted to pick up both of them, you know, I would do maybe 200 if you would be interested in that. Or actually, I see Bill right there just says he would do the Blue Jays and the Cubs for 200. They're all yours, Bill. Blue Jays and Cubs are yours. You can have them for 200. So, Bill, I'm going to once again type in here my email info that I use for PayPal. I do not use this for correspondence, so if you ever send me a message there, I'm never, ever going to see it. But you can send PayPal payments there. I'm just too lazy to go in and, you know, change all that stuff up and put in other ones. So, all right. So, Bill... yeah, so Bill, if you are good there with the Blue Jays and the Cubs, just jump into chat there and let me know so that we know for sure that you are good there. And if you are, then I'm going to mark them off the list, and that would leave only the Phillies if Bill is indeed picking up the Blue Jays and the Cubs. And let me once again go in here and get some more stuff closed out. And we are going to get some more stuff done in here. Sorry, I know this takes forever. I apologize, guys. Yeah, you gotta love all these people who manage to do this and leave us in the lurch. All right, and that gets rid of the big guy who left me holding the bag on them. Most of that stuff belonged to one person. Dollar trifecta, you're offering 20 for the Phillies, and they were, what, 31 on there. Make it 25, and you got a deal. If you will do 25, we will call it done. Nina says their loss is your gain. I hope so. I hope we pull some good stuff for you guys. I just always hate having to stop and do this because, you know, it slows down the break. And then you guys who were good enough to get your stuff paid on time and be here on time, and we can't start on time because of the people who don't pay, that's always frustrated me. But sometimes, you know, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. So let me get my spreadsheet updated here. And Nina, I do have your mailing address somewhere, right? Either with your PayPal payment or with something you've got coming from eBay or something or another, right? I just want to make sure of that so that I'm sending it, of course, to the right place. And then Bill's going to have the Cubs and the Blue Jays. So let me get that updated. All right, he's the Cubs and the Blue Jays. Let's get that in there, and that is updated. All right. And, all right, so Vulcan, you'll do 25 on the Phillies. Fantastic. Fantastic. Then you are once again ready to go. And I will, just for the reference so you don't have to scroll back up through there, Vulcan, that is going to be your info for sending PayPal. Should be the same as what you've already seen, but just to be on the safe side. Let's get the Phillies in here and get them closed out on eBay, and we'll be ready to roll. You guys are awesome. Thank you for helping out with all this unpaid stuff tonight. I appreciate you. We go through spells, it seems, where this sort of thing happens a lot. We're in one of those spots right now where it just seems to happen a lot. Okay, why is this not coming up where I can actually see it? Ay, ay, ay. There we go. And we'll get rid of the Phillies from eBay. Now that is canceled. Put you in the spreadsheet, Vulcan, and then we're going to be good. Almost done, almost done. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Alrighty, I think I am squared away on the eBay side of things. Noah, Oakland is already sold, so I think we actually now have all of our teams sold, and I believe everybody's squared away on money. Nina and Bill and Vulcan, I think you guys said you were all good from a PayPal standpoint, so we just need to get the spreadsheet back up there and get trucking. Thank you guys for stepping in. So yeah, it's been a while since we talked about this now, hasn't it? So we'll talk about it again for a hot second. Hoping to have all this out the door and on the way by Friday. As always, it is plus or minus a day, so if something goes really well this week, might be able to get it out a day sooner. Something goes off the rails, might be a day later. Right now, projecting it to be Friday as the shipping date. Everybody's going to pull cards in here, so we don't need to worry at all about consolation cards. We are all set in that regard. Now, this is a 6-box half case break. This is the back half of a case that we started on release night, which of course was Friday night. And so that makes this break number 2. It ended on eBay tonight, the same night that we are breaking it. Memorial Day night to be specific. That sounds weird. And it is Monday, the 25th of May. Your team names are there on the left-hand side, your winning bidders across from each team. And, of course, our unpaid teams there, you will see have the new bidder names in there with a little notation of second. That's how I remind myself that you picked it up by chat as like a second chance offer, you know, like they do on eBay. That's kind of how I remind myself. And looks like I managed to hit the camera, so we'll get that straightened out, and I believe we are at last ready to go. Hooray! Hooray, hooray, hooray. All right, so now we just have to find some heat in here, don't we? We got to bring in the fire to make up for, not to make, well, kind of to make up for, I guess, all the hassle of having to wait. I need to change up the focus. Let me get the, I like to do it while I can see those back boxes, so I set it properly. So you're about to notice it's going to get blurry in the back there. And that was and is on purpose. And this still looks weird. Did I just like hit the tripod? I guess I did. But we're going to be able to see the cards up close and personal. That's the part that counts, of course. Now what we are looking for in here, 2 autographs and 2 memorabilia cards. You'll see it says per box on average. Panini loves that word average, or those 2 words, on average. So in the real world, here's what that means to us. Sometimes they just flat out short you a hit. It doesn't happen very often, but occasionally they do. Sometimes they give you an extra one, and that's always nice. That doesn't happen as often. But what happens most of the time that would apply to quote-unquote on average is that they'll take one of the hits and they'll replace it with a rewards point card. So if that happens tonight, any Panini rewards point cards that we might find will be held until the very end of the break, and then we would use random.org and award that to whomever, whatever team that random tells us it's going to go to. And yeah, so that takes care of the hits and the on average stuff. Now as we go through here, there are a lot of different parallels that we're going to see. And particularly in this first box, we'll stop and talk about them a little bit more so that everybody becomes familiar with what we're looking for and what we're going to see in each of these boxes. Then as we go through subsequent boxes, we'll move a little faster through some of those variations because we'll know then, by then, you know, what color equals what number and that sort of thing. So let me get my little stack of sleeves all set up here on the table, and we are about to get underway. Vulcan, you like the look of these cards? You know what? I like Select a lot. I don't know why Panini hasn't made it in baseball before. Historically, they make it in basketball and football, and it's always been a set that I like. It's so similar to Prism, but yet it has a, I don't know, almost like a higher end sort of look to it, I think. I think just the design, it feels like a higher end version of Prism to me. So this is Matt Chapman for the A's. Now it's not a numbered insert, but it is, as you see there on the back, a Prism insert, meaning that pretty little rainbow of colors there. So that can be called a prism. It is also known as a refractor in the Topps world. You may hear me bounce back and forth between the two words, but a prism and a refractor both are really the same thing. Patrick Sandoval is our very first hit out, and that is for the Angels. So a little angel relic there. So somebody's got some good fortune, some good mojo for picking up the Angels already. And our next hit comes up for the Texas Rangers, and it is numbered to 49. And we've got a nice little relic autograph pairing on that one. That's my favorite kind. Vulcan, you said you haven't seen any zebras in 20 or so cases. And yeah, we did. We hit 2 in the first half case. Yeah, so like I thought it was a case hit. Honestly, it usually is in Select for other sports. And then we hit 2 in the first half of this case. So I was like, oh, all right, maybe it's not a case hit, but I don't know. So there's a nice little Bo Bichette, and those little, I forget what is this parallel called? I'm going blank on it, but it doesn't come out very often. So anyway, the Blue Jays get the Bo Bichette prism in the, whatever that parallel name is, that I'm currently drawing a blank on. Now, regular prisms like this, they're not numbered either, but of course, again, you can see the pretty little rainbow of colors. So most of the time, I will sleeve those prisms if they're not numbered. Most of the time, we're going to sleeve them after the fact, kind of at the end of the break. But I may do some of them as we go, I guess, kind of depending on if it's a rookie and that kind of thing. So, and our third hit, it is numbered to 99, and it is headed to the Tampa Bay Rays with Arozarena. A little autograph action there for the Tampa Bay Rays. So we found 3 of our 4 hits, I guess. And somehow I still feel like this is just crooked. Doesn't it seem crooked to you? I don't know. It seems crooked to me. And there's a little Wander Franco. Nice. And just a prism that isn't numbered, but it's still nice. Wander Franco, right? I mean, come on. That's good. It's for the Tampa Bay Rays. And here comes our 4th hit. It's the Cubbies with Rizzo. So there we go. We're doing pretty well on our teams that you guys picked up. So far, so good anyway, right? There's Brandon Workman with a prism. And that goes to the Red Sox. Just one of those little blank cards meant to derail the people who like to feel the packs and see if they can find the hits. Yeah, it's meant to trick them into thinking it's a hit. And they get home and all they got is a little blank thing. There's a Michael Brantley prism. So again, those base prisms of non-rookies, I will just probably sleeve after the break because there will be a lot of them rather than slowing us down the whole way through. There's another one, Matt Olson for the Oakland A's. And behind that is still yet another one. That one's Francisco Lindor for the Indians. And then these guys, we're going to find plenty of these too. And they look like they should be numbered, right? All that nice kind of coloring on there. But guess what? They're not. I know. They should be, but they aren't. All of our things that are numbered in here, we didn't find any in that first box, but they're red or blue, green. There's several parallels, and each of those colors is matched to a specific number. So like all the blue ones are to, I don't remember, maybe 149, and the red to 199 or something like that. But we'll find some. We just didn't happen to find any in the very first box. But we'll see some before we're done. And I also saw that they are, oh shoot, now I forgot what the brand was. Panini's putting out another baseball product that's a brand that we all know that they don't usually produce for baseball, that they are producing this year. And right as I was getting ready to say the product name, it just flew right out of my head. I can't think what it is now. It's similar. It's a Select type deal. I mean, it's a good product in other sports, and they're bringing it to baseball as a freestanding product this year. And if I could remember it, I would tell you what it was, but it flew right out of my head. So I don't know. But it looks like Panini's getting a little more invested in baseball, maybe than they have been in some of the years past. I mean, they've always had National Treasures and Flawless and Impeccable and some of the nice high-end stuff like that. But these kind of mid to higher end stuff that falls more in the affordable range, that's a nice product, those haven't always been freestanding for baseball. So glad to see them coming back. There's a Rojas for the Diamondbacks. And Kershaw is going to get a little hit here. Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers has a relic hit. And here's our first numbered. So this is a red one. And anytime we see this red border, we know that card is going to be numbered to 199. So the first red one we see there is headed to the Dodgers. Tony Gonsolin, or however you say his name. I think it's not quite like that, but you know, Absolute, that's it. Thank you, Stang Lever. Hi, Stang Lever. Absolute is exactly what I was trying to think of in baseball. The product we haven't seen as freestanding that we are going to see this year is Absolute. Yes, that is it. Where you been, Stang Lever? How's it going? How's your night? How's your weekend? This is Morejon for the Padres, and our blue, which is going to be numbered to 149 whenever we see that nice, pretty little blue color there. At least when we see it on a non-autographed card. Sometimes they'll vary it when it's an autograph. Here comes J.D. Davis, and that is for the Mets. Next up is Jake Rogers for the Tigers. That is numbered to 99. And there's your nice little Rogers autograph if you've got Detroit. Not too shabby. I have to get all these blank cards out of the way, I think. They just take up valuable real estate over there, don't they? And a Max Muncy base prism, followed by a George Springer base prism. Another one of our multicolors, sadly not numbered. That one's a rookie, so we'll sleeve him now. Actually, so was Rojas a minute ago, wasn't he? And I missed that. We're going to go ahead and sleeve Rojas now, too, because he's also a rookie. And I just overlooked his rookie designation on there the first time around. Seattle. I start to say the Seahawks. Oh, I got football on the brain. Let's try that again. Seattle Mariners, and that is numbered to 99 with a relic there for Jake Fraley. And then we have Brandon Woodruff, and this light blue color is first we've seen of it tonight because it's a little lower numbered to 35 whenever we see what I'm going to call the North Carolina blue. We see the UK blue, that's the higher numbered one. There's Tehran, and that is base prism, finishing up box number 2. Alex needs some Brewers. All right, Alex, let's find you some Brewers. Maybe we can have a little love for Milwaukee here on Memorial Day and get Alex on track. This is a really nice product, though. I do like it a lot. It's a good design, you know. It's got enough going on that it's interesting, but not so much going on that you look at it and think, wow, that card's way too busy. Both Panini and Topps put out a new release schedule on Friday. So as I expected, Topps moved back Tier 1 baseball, and Panini moved back 2020 Contenders Draft Picks, which would have been Friday of this week. It's now moved into like towards the end of June, I want to say. It got moved a bunch. So they're updating that calendar every week, and even stuff they told us last week, a lot of it's moved again, so they don't know what they're doing. They're so dependent on the printer. And of course, I think both of them share a printer in Texas, and they may each have some of their own printers in other areas, but I think both of their primary printer, it's in Texas, and I think maybe they both use the same one. There's a little Bryce Harper base prism. So that's, I think, part of the reason that everything is still so up in the air, because until the printer gets caught up, it's going to be just like it has been, moving all over the place. Number to 99, Xander Bogaerts and the Red Sox. Taylor, numbered to 99. Haha, how about that? Milwaukee Brewers. Right as you asked for one, we managed to find you one. Not too bad, right? That's one of those ask and ye shall receive kind of things. Next up, we have the Cleveland Indians, numbered to 99 with Chang. Autograph and relic pairing. Whoops, that guy's blue. We can't be just stacking him over there. Numbered to 149. That's the White Sox and Jose Abreu. And I believe there's one of our hits. Ended up there at the bottom of that little stack. And it is Sam Hilliard, numbered to 99. Colorado Rockies are on the board with a hit. Next up, A.J. Puck for the Oakland A's. I feel like we see that guy 800 times in every break. Ooh, we got a 1 of 1. I see it. I see it by the pattern. Well, okay. It's a 1 of 1 normally. Occasionally, Panini will take this pattern and number it to 5 for some idiotic reason in certain products. They didn't in here. Good. So, it is in fact a 1 of 1 for the Houston Astros with Toro So how about that? So far, so good. Not a bad half case. And our first half of this case was quite nice too. So all in all, happy with what we're finding. Aaron Nola base prism for the Phillies. Nina, anything that we hit, yeah, for sure. Anything we hit that is any kind of parallel, we're definitely going to stop on it. It's only the base stuff that we kind of keep on trucking through. And that was Hanser Alberto that just went by with a base prism. And there's a nice little Gavin Lux season insert, but not a prism, not numbered or a prism. And here is one for the Kansas City Royals, a little multicolor prism for KC. And that is that stack. We've got another stack, and I think I see a hit coming. I do. Let's see who it is. I can't tell who it is from the back side. Ooh, it's Ozzie. Little Ozzie Smith. How about that? St. Louis Cardinals. I was really hoping that was going to be signed, but that's all right. That's still a cool card. I like the image. I like the card design. Got an Ozzie Smith relic for the St. Louis Cardinals. Behind it is a red numbered 2, 199, headed to the Tigers. And here's Ozzie for the Atlanta Braves. I don't know why I thought that would be numbered, but it isn't. But that's okay. It's still an insert and a prism, so it's all good. All right, we've got, this is what, box number 4 that's coming out of the wrappers right now. So we've opened 3. We have 3 remaining, which counts the one in my hand amongst those 3. Vulcan, you need some love for the Cincinnati Reds. I'm with you on that. I'm a Reds fan. That's my team. So, yeah, I'd like to find you some Cincinnati Reds love. We'll do our best to find that for you. Yeah, I wish I could remember what product it is, but there's some product that Panini has, and when you hit that pattern that is a 1 of 1 in Topps, and normally a 1 of 1 in Panini, the pattern we just saw, the gold, you know, little circle. Panini calls them gold vinyl, and Topps calls them superfractors, but it's the same design in the pattern. But there's one product Panini does, and I cannot think which one it is, but when you hit that card, you always think, oh, it's a 1 of 1, and you'll turn it over, and no, they'll have it numbered to 5. And it's like, why? Why would you do that? That pattern should always only be a 1 of 1. It should never be anything else. But for whatever reason, sometimes Panini will number it to something else. Super bizarre. Vulcan, you're looking for Aristides. All right, we'll see if we can find a little Punisher for you. Man, I hope that kid comes back raking. He looked really good, and then, of course, pitchers started figuring him out, which, honestly, happens to every rookie, as we know. Pitchers figure them out, and then they have a little slump, and then they usually come back ready to go. So I'm hoping that Aristides comes back knocking them out of the park, because we can obviously use all the help we can get. That is a Rhys Hoskins base prism for the Phillies. And there is a Logan Allen rookie prism. That's headed to the Cleveland Indians. But you know, we're going to have some baseball in July. No fans, but baseball nonetheless. So we'll take it, right? I think they're going to pipe in crowd noise. Ooh, Blue Jays, baby. Yes, indeed. Look what you just hit. Nice. Bo Bichette with the artistic impressions insert for the Blue Jays. Nice little hit right there. You don't see that one come out very much, so congrats to Toronto on that little gem. Oh, Vulcan, is it in Select Football that they do to 5? I couldn't remember the product. I just knew that they did one of them where it's to 5, and it makes me crazy. So Select Football, he says. Okay. There is Dozier to 199, Kansas City Royals. And there's a Jonathan Gray for the Rockies with a base prism. Truthfully, I wish they would just do it like Topps does it. You know, with Topps, when you pull a certain color, you know it's going to be numbered to whatever corresponds to that color. And they usually keep it pretty consistent across products. A couple of products it'll vary, but most of the time it's pretty consistent. Dylan Cease for the White Sox with a Rainbow Prism rookie. They don't do that over here at Panini. They like to keep us guessing. Make us work hard to figure it out. Here's an Aaron Judge tricolor prism base. Followed by a little Chris Paddock base prism for the Padres. I see what I call a cracked ice. In most products, Panini calls it a cracked ice. Every once in a while, they'll call it something else. But we're going to stick with cracked ice. It's Kevin Newman for the Pittsburgh Pirates, numbered to 25. So nice little hit there for Pittsburgh to 25. All right, then we have a Bobby Bradley to 99. And that is the Cleveland Indians with an autograph. Mondesi, Kansas City Royals. That is numbered to 99 and an autograph headed to KC. The white ones are generally numbered to 25 in here, I believe. And let's see if I've... nope, to 50. To 50. I said that wrong. Yeah. Sorry. So our white one's numbered to 50. That one goes to the Tampa Bay Rays. And that's just a regular base. We've got an Ozzie Albies for the Atlanta Braves. Braves have a relic there for Ozzie. Cal Ripken, Baltimore Orioles, numbered to 75. Relic. And a blue hit, numbered to 149, Realmuto for the Phillies. One more base, and that finishes up box number 4. All You Need Is Cards is here. Hi, All You Need Is Cards. Talking about the Bo Bichette, the Artistic Impressions. Yeah. Yep, that's a nice one. You do not find those too often. I mean, technically, in most of these products, technically, is it a case hit? Maybe, but you know, Panini doesn't really ever guarantee their quote-unquote case hits, not like Topps does. They call them usually like, it'll say, look for a very rare or a super rare, or it uses some other word. Like they don't call it, quote-unquote, the case hit. And Topps will, Topps will say, oh yeah, and a case hit of da-da-da-da. And I think Panini doesn't because, well, frankly, sometimes you don't get them. You'll open a case and be expecting to find their super rare whatever, and it won't be in there. And then in other cases, you might find it in there more than once. And so I shy away from calling it a case hit because they don't call it a case hit, but, I mean... technically, very strictly speaking, you do expect kind of to find one every case. But since Panini doesn't ever, quote, guarantee that, I usually don't call it that in here. Because they're so funky about the way they do things, Vulcan, you said a third of the artistic impressions that you've seen have been Bo Bichette. Really? Oh, I'm shocked. I wouldn't have thought that he would have come out that frequently in artistic impressions. That is unusual. I mean, good if you got the Blue Jays, but I wouldn't have expected that, really. All right, we have got number 2/199 for the Detroit Tigers. That is Willie Castro. And here comes a red parallel, number 2/199. It's another one going to the Dodgers with Gonsolin, whichever way you say it. And a tricolor that is Rosario for the Mets. No, for the Twins. For the Twins. That was, sorry, that was not Ahmed Rosario. That was Eddie Rosario. You see what happens? I just, yeah, connected the wrong dots in my head there. This is for the Giants. It's numbered to 25. Mauricio Dubon with a cracked ice autograph. Headed to San Francisco. And then we have one for the Rockies with Daza. It's a relic, but you did get a pinstripe, so that's always an extra little bonus to get the pinstripe. I think, anyway. Moose, Mike Moustakas, base prism, Cincinnati Reds. And then we have got a blue, Danny Mendick, numbered to 149. That's the White Sox. And there's a little prism right there. Sugo, maybe not exactly how you pronounce it, but it's close enough. It's Tampa Bay Rays. You guys know I butcher the names 99% of the time. I even butcher our new player for the Reds. I can't ever say his name right. Our little Shogo guy. I butcher his name too, sadly. All right, there is a tricolor Azarena for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay Rays have had quite a few parallels tonight anyway. Oh, there's a base prism for my Cincinnati Reds. It belongs to, well, belongs to Cincinnati Reds. It is Sonny Gray on the card. And then we have a little Ken Giles for Toronto with a prism insert. Shohei, baby, for the Angels with a Shohei Ohtani, numbered to 149. Got a little relic there of your man Ohtani, which, thanks to our slowdown in the start of play, I guess he might be ready to pitch by the time the season kicks off. I guess he will be. Giolito, 99, White Sox. So, yeah, coming back from last year's Tommy John, of course. All right, last box. So it is last box mojo time. So you know what that means. It means we are going to officially, collectively work the mojo here and try our very best to bring forth a big hit. We need a big one to close out the last box in the last case. Stang Lover said, you need something for the Marlins. You got the Marlins tonight, do you? You don't usually have the Marlins. All right, well, we'll have to work on that for you. See if we can't get a little Miami for Stang Lover. Kyle needs the Rangers. Texas Rangers love. We will see what the mojo brings forth. Hopefully something good. We'll do our best anyway. Oh, Vulcan's saying, nah, Rangers shouldn't get another one because they've already had a hit. I paraphrase that, but yeah, I know that's what you're saying. I hear you on that. Mr. Suarez with a base prism for my Cincinnati Reds with Eugenio Suarez. A tricolor Michael Brantley prism for the Astros. And a Tricolor Yu Darvish for the Cubbies. I see another cracked ice. And it's headed to Toronto, too. Blue Jays have done all right tonight. Number to 25. There's your King Giles again. Rendon, that is a Prism insert unnumbered Angels. Took a while to get all that out, didn't it? You said, Tennessee, you said a Griffey auto is always a good way to go out. Yes, I would like to do that. I would like to find a Ken Griffey Jr. And Stang Lover says for the 6th time, he's still looking for a Yamamoto autograph. Didn't we pull a bunch of Yamamoto? Maybe it was out of something else. We pulled a bunch of Yamamoto out of something recently. Might not have been this, though. I don't know. Numbered to 209. That is, how do you say his last name? Never heard it pronounced. Ronald Bolanos, perhaps. Something like that. Anyway, he's Padre. And it is a relic autograph pairing for San Diego. And here we have a little tricolor Kyle Lewis coming out for the Mariners. Tatis, it's a San Diego Padres kind of box here at the end, isn't it? And this is numbered to 49. You got a relic autograph pairing for Mr. Tatis. And didn't we hit him in the first half of this case too? I want to say we did. I think we hit a Tatis autograph relic in both parts of this case. I feel like we did. I don't know. Sometimes I do get mixed up products in my head when I'm trying to think about what we've hit, but it feels like we did. And the Mariners coming on strong here at the end, too. That is a Justin Dunn relic for the Mariners. And Mondesi with a base prism for the Royals. And a base prism Gio Urshela for the Yankees. Ooh, White Sox, Robert. Let's hope this is signed. It's numbered to 250. Is our last hit supposed to be signed? No, dang it. It's just a relic. Shoot. Still, that's a nice hit. Kid's going to be good. So, White Sox, you're all right with that one, too. Would like for it to have been signed, but it's not terrible that it wasn't. Kirby Yates, base prism, and a base prism George Springer for the Astros, and that's the last of it, as a matter of fact. But we are going to do some recapping. We'll take care of looking through our autographs, our relics. We're going to look at cards that are numbered, let's just say 99 or lower. I think that's reasonable. And then anything else that's interesting, we'll recap. Our higher numbered cards, our base prisms, our tricolor prisms, that kind of stuff, we don't recap. But our other stuff, of course, we will. So, all right. Vulcan, you said you're on your 8th break trying to get Aristides Aquino. Yeah, I know. He's tough pulling here. He's not coming out a lot, I don't think. At least not that I have seen. I'm sure he is somewhere, but not that I've seen yet. So, Bo Bichette, Artistic Impressions. Yeah, that's the only artistic impressions we found in this case. So, you know me. I already explained why I don't call it the case hit, because Panini doesn't, but it's sort of unofficially, that's what it is. And we had a 1 of 1. That would be Toro for the Houston Astros. We have ourselves a cracked ice here for the Toronto Blue Jays, numbered to 25, and then another one right behind it to 25 for the Pirates. So a pair of cracked ice. There's another one with a signature attached, but this is the non-signature piles. Numbered to 35, that one goes to the Milwaukee Brewers. It was Brandon Woodruff. Numbered to 50, this one heads to the Tampa Bay Rays. Numbered to 99, you've got one for the White Sox, and our other one to 99 is headed to the Boston Red Sox. All right, so those are our cards that are numbered to 100 or less that do not have autographs attached to them. Now, moving on down the road here, we have got our relic pile. Well, there's other stuff in there too. There's a White Sox. I guess you might want to see the numbering on that again, so we'll do that too. And the Mariners. There's that nice little Tatis hit for the Padres. Stang Lever did confirm for me there that it is, in fact, the second Tatis autograph in this case. I thought that it was. I wasn't going to swear to it, but I thought it was. And that was the Padres. Ohtani's out for the Angels. Then we have the Colorado Rockies. Here is our Cracked Ice autograph, numbered to 25. It's going to San Francisco. Castro to 199, that's Detroit. Following that, Baltimore Orioles with a relic. And then we've got a relic for the Atlanta Braves. Here's an autograph for the Kansas City Royals. And a little ink for the Cleveland Indians. And a nice Ozzie Smith relic for the St. Louis Cardinals. Next stack coming through brings us Sam Hilliard for the Rockies. And that is for the Indians, autograph relic pairing. A relic comes out next for the Brewers, and a relic for the Mariners. Some ink for the Detroit Tigers, numbered to 99. Kershaw, Dodgers, relic. Rizzo, Cubbies, relic. An autograph numbered to 99 for the Tampa Bay Rays. This nice autograph relic pairing here. That is really a nice one. It's numbered to 49. There's your Texas Rangers hit. Was a good one. And then a relic for the Angels with Patrick Sandoval. All right, so there goes the recap and, of course, the break for tonight. But what I am going to do is put up spreadsheet information again. So if you were not here at the first, you missed it, we're going to talk again about when you can expect this to ship. And we're also going to look at our break schedule for the rest of the week. So I'm anticipating it'll be on the way approximately Friday. If I can get it out the door sooner, I will. And if something unexpected happens, could always go a day later. But as it stands right now, I am anticipating Friday to get it out the door. Sooner, of course, if I can. And if everybody hit in here, so we don't even have to worry about consolation cards. There were tons of cards. All the cards ship. Every team's going to have a nice little package of cards headed their way. So we don't have to worry about going over all the consolation card stuff. And then that is not the page I meant to be on. I meant to be on that page, and I somehow got them reversed. So the breaks that are coming up in the days ahead. Tomorrow night, it's Select Baseball again, and we're going to do it by the half case again. It will actually be the start of a brand new case. On Wednesday night, that break is not listed on eBay because it's already taken place on eBay. The auctions have already ended. It is our makeup date, our rescheduled date for Bowman Baseball. Okay, and that is going to be on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. And everybody who had their team on Friday night still has their same team here for Wednesday night in that break. Thursday night, Noir Basketball. It's actually a Wednesday new release, but I didn't want to take a chance of it not arriving on time, so we'll break it on Thursday. Those are loose boxes from a shared case in a 4-box case quantity. On Friday night, we'll start a hair later than we normally do, 9:15 Eastern, 6:15 Pacific, and we'll break Select Baseball, the back half of the case that we start tomorrow night on Tuesday, we will finish on Friday night. So that's what it looks like in the days ahead, and yeah, I guess that has actually got me all wrapped up for tonight. And let me see if I missed anything in chat. Dollar Trifecta, you said the Diamondbacks usually hit in every break you watch, and then when you got them tonight, they didn't. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I mean, that's just no fun at all. I've had that happen. We've all had that happen somewhere along the way. It's always, right? You see them come out, and you think, oh, there's no way. They come out of everything, and then they don't come out of your break. And I am sorry, man, that we didn't hit something good for you, but hopefully the next time. And all you need is cards. Well, you are welcome, and you have a good night, too. So everybody enjoy what is left of your Memorial Day. I will be back at it tomorrow night. Hopefully, I will see you again then, or if not then, sometime soon. In the meantime, stay safe and happy and healthy, and take care of yourselves, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.